Are you a home buyer or home seller in Pitt County, North Carolina?
We love doing these videos for you because we get to tell you everything what's going on in our area and not just, what's happening in the national news, because the national news is one information, but the local information is really, really important too. That way, if you're saying, maybe I should be buying a home right now, looking at the numbers, deciding what is best for me and what my situation is always a great thing too.
Therefore, in January 2024, we want to give you the housing market update or real estate market and give you some suggestion and tip based on all this statistic. Stay tuned with our channel. We love to basically go through all these numbers.
Okay, let's start with it. Active homes in December, which just happened, was 358 homes. What about the month before that?
A month before that in November was 350. Year before at this time was 315. We're looking at 14% increase in the active homes.
Now with pending, which means under contract. So how many homes are under contract? December 2023, there was 118 homes. Don't forget the interest rates only started to fall Christmas week, so we won't have information for next month will be interesting. November 2023 was 156, which was much higher. And then, but if you look at last year, last December, 116. People typically stay home for Christmas.
Therefore, we had a 1.7% increase, and these houses supposed to close the next 30 days when they went under the contract. Now, the sold home is really come to this number. In December 2023 was 125 homes. In months of November, 136 homes, and last year at this time was 162 homes, which brings us to decrease of 22.8%.
So less homes sold in December by a lot, which is a really interesting number. We're going to put the inventory rate now. So inventory rate is divided by, if I look at all the active plus the pending, and then I divide it by the recently sold homes in the past 30 days, I get a number. And when this number tells us is it a buyer's market, is it a seller's market, generally speaking. So when I look at that, 358 plus 118 gives me 476 divided by 125. My husband did the math, not me, I'm reading. Came to 3.81 months of supply, which is a seller's market.
Seller's market, because the threshold is at least to have a 6-month supply in the market.
What about the month before
In month of November, we were 372, very close. And last year at this point, we were 2.65. Therefore, definitely from last year to this year, we had more than 43% increase in the inventory rate.
Now, before we continue on with days on the market and other important information, it's time to do our introduction.
Let's hit it.
Hi, it's Alan Victoria. Welcome to our channel and podcast.
And if this is your first time in our podcast and YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe and get notified.
Also, you call text all the time, 252-327-3357. We love talking to you. Don't be shy. Also, grab our buyer's guide and seller's guide in the description below. Now let's talk about those days on the market.
Exactly. For the Pitt County, average days on the market is also determined how fast is the market is moving for both home buyers and home sellers. And saying that in December 2023, we have an average of 60 days in the market. And the months of November, we were 40. And last year at this time, we were 31 days.
So you can see a almost double 100%, 93.55% increase on those days on market, which means the housing market did slow down in December. What happens now that interest rates are starting to go down? Anybody can guess. But let's move on to the list price and the sales price. And now,
exactly.
List price and sales price is not the same house. When we look at the median, which is the middle number of all the houses sold, all the homes, the listing prices, this is, again, not the same house. Generally, if it is the same house, that was by luck. But what we're looking at is seeing what is that middle number, because that middle number is going to give us a lot of information out there. So that middle number tells us, generally speaking, we're kind of not the shacks, not the mansions, what's going on in the middle. So median list price was in the month of December was $305,100.
And in November was $305,220. And in last year at this time was $326,300. Therefore, we had decrease of 6.5%.
That means sellers are asking 6.5% now than they were last year, which is actually not a bad thing. Now, when we talk about sales price is a little bit different. This is the actual home sold. In December, it was $279,900.
And in November was $261,450. And last year at this time was $270,250. 050.
Which brings us to an increase in the total homes sold at 3.65%.
Exactly. Now, one of the quick and dirty way of doing this is really median price per square feet that we wanted to talk about it, that you basically what you can do with
If you're
this.
a home buyer, you're going to look at the price per square foot to see if this is kind of where a deal is being made or not. Also, if you're a home seller, this is how we basically determine how much your home is worth based on the numbers at this moment. Of course, if your house is amazing, it will be more. If your house is not amazing, it will be less. This is just a rough number.
Exactly. And also in Pitt County, we have all type of homes now, including condo and single family home, saying that for all new homes, including single family, townhouse, and condo, the price per square feet was $174
a square foot. Now, with previously owned all types of homes, not just single family condos, townhomes, we're talking $149 a square foot. Now, let's talk about single family homes only.
If it's brand new single family home, $175 per square feet.
Now, if it's just a previously owned home, it's going to be $156 a square foot.
Exactly. Now, we wanted to deep dive a little bit more in detail and understanding the inventory based of the monthly supply in Pitt County, North Carolina.
Right. So when we say, how much inventory is out there? Really, we also have to kind of dig a little deeper in Pitt County and say, is it previously owned homes? Is it brand new construction? Because we have a lot of new construction around here. So we have to kind of understand what's going on in our market. So in December 2023, new construction was 3.2 months of supply. The month before that, it was also 3.2 months of supply.
Therefore, we didn't change anything in the
So
brand
there's
new.
still a lot of new construction out there. What about previously owned?
Previously owned in December, we were 1.2 months of supply, and the month of November was 1.1 months. Therefore, very close, like a just 9% difference.
But you can see a huge number of what our inventory is actually new construction in this area. So we have to keep that in mind. So let's look at mean, which tells us mean home value, which kind of gives us what appreciation is happening in the county.
Yes. And is basically averaged over the spectrum of the cheap house and more expensive house. And in months of December 2023 that we have the data, it was $233,956.
Wow. The month before that, it was $234,439.
And last year at this time was $221,718, which brings us to how much?
A 6.3% appreciation rate on if you own a home, what you have gained in your home on average. So that's, good for home sellers and also good for home buyers to understand that homes are appreciating in value in Pitt County, which means once you start owning a home yourself, you will start seeing an increase in value appreciation, at least looking at this history and trend.
Exactly. The median rent, if you wanted to talk about rental market now, the median rent for all bedrooms in Pitt County is $1,300. And saying that Pitt County includes 14 towns, including Greenville and Winterville, Grimesland, and the other area. Therefore,
Aiden, Grifton.
And this is like a median of all those. Therefore, definitely is not easy to understand that's what's going on because it's in a spectrum of this different
Right,
cities.
so that means that what he's saying is that there's a lot that are going to be lower than that, and there's a lot that's going to be higher than that. So this is just the median, what we look at when we look at all numbers. This is just what's going on in the middle. And $1,300 is going to get you probably, if you were buying a home, I would say we would probably be looking at $175. Am I wrong?
175 to 185, yes.
That is the price of the home, I would say, if you wanted to kind of keep the same price.
At the time of this video.
At the time of the filming
and
the
of
video.
course, the interest rate is going down, which is better. And now we wanted to give you some suggestion and tips as a home buyers and home sellers. What we have for home buyers.
So if you're a home buyer and you're renting or you're thinking of moving to Pitt County, we love talking about all of these things. Now, we have a lot of new construction in our area. And if you aren't paying rent and you're just kind of tired of paying someone else's mortgage and having them get all of the appreciation factor of that house, and you want to start appreciating it for yourself and your loved ones in your future, it is time. Interest rates are starting to go down nationally, which is amazing news and relief for home buyers who were kind of priced out of the market. So if you were priced out of the market now, maybe it's time to reconsider looking at what we can afford. The market is starting to balance, it's starting to shift, and when it really starts picking up speed, You might be waiting till it picks up more speed or interest rates fall even more. But the problem with waiting 2 months is that everybody else is going to be racing with you. And now you're going to have you're going to put in an offer and you might be one of 30 offers. So we're going to be discussing how can you win that home instead of like you going in and buying it right now and saying, hey, this is maybe what we should be thinking about. We can afford this. So, I mean, there's things to consider.
Exactly. And for home seller, really, if you're looking at the data, we had inventory rate of 3.81 months, which is very similar in the month of November. And we said to being in the buyer's market, we need at least 6 months of inventory. Therefore, we are still in the seller's market. And also, if you're looking at it, we don't have a pre-owned homes enough. We're based off the monthly supply with just a 1.2 months, and we had appreciation of 6.3%. Therefore, really, this is the right time for you if you want to get the most money. Of course, you need to do your due diligence, connect with the real estate professionals like us, Al and Victoria. We love to help you, and also helping you with the comps that run the numbers for you about the property with the same feature. At the same time, you do the project that needed to be done on the house, like basically decluttering, finish any unfinished project, and to bring more value and get more money in your pocket. And don't forget to call us at 252-327-3357.